I'm Maya Graham and I am a producer at TalkSport and UCFB alumni, and these are my top tips for being a sports producer. Number one, I would definitely say you have to consider your topics. What's in the news, what's fresh, what's going on. Once you've got those topics, you then have to look at what new and fresh angle you take. You don't want to be writing or talking about the same thing that every journalist or show or radio station's been talking about. You need a new take on it and a new direction. You also have to consider things like when managers have been speaking, when their press conferences are, if there's been any exclusive interviews in the papers, and pick up on those things and every time find a new angle and find a new direction. Tip number two, I would definitely say, especially when working for a radio station, that you need to consider audio. How can audio that you use enhance a topic? Can it be a manager talking from a press conference? Can it be a package or a teaser that looks ahead to a game or reflects on an event that's just happened? All these little bits of audio need to piece together so that the presenter has a little bit more context and something to break up the show as well. This could also be any audio that's sourced from a third party. Make sure you credit it though. And again, this can add to a topic. So if a footballer has done a different interview with another news outlet, can you take a little bit of that audio, credit it, and use it to add context to the topic and lead the presenters in a direction so that they have something to talk off the back of. This can also be internal. So if you had presenters that were talking on a different show earlier in the week or maybe even a couple of years ago, but the topics now come up now, can you then take that audio, reuse it, recycle it, and also cross-promote? So it might be a different show that you can then take and promote and say, catch this show in a few hours' time. It's all about keeping things fresh, but adding context to it, and audio is a great way of doing that. Tip number three, I'd say, is having the right guests. A good guest can make or break a show, and usually it makes a show. It adds a different voice, it adds another layer to the show. This can be a coach, a manager, it can be another journalist, a sports psychologist, anything in that field that you think can enhance and bring a bit more expertise to the show, because sometimes the presenters might not be that clued up on the topic. So having a guest to come on and offer some different insight really can elevate a show. Tip number four would be callers and audience interaction. Now this probably works best for things like radio shows and podcasts. If you have a podcast, can you maybe put out on social media the day before what you want your listeners to hear? What answers do they want? What questions do they want asking? And if you're in a radio show, can you have callers ring up and have a chance to voice their opinion? Sometimes the best radio content is when a caller and a presenter go head to head because they clash and they don't agree on something. My final tip, tip number five, would be your show needs an identity. Whether it's a television show, radio show, podcast, whatever it is, it needs to be personal to you. There needs to be a brand, there needs to be features, anything that people, as soon as they hear or see something, they can link it back and know it's your show. Keep it original, keep it fresh, and keep it different. There's so many people in this space trying to do similar things. How can you stand out?